in the morning. Today's gonna be an exciting day. Just arrived at the airport. I'm on my way to catch a flight to Cheyenne, Wyoming, to pick up a car. I'm gonna be picking up a 2010 BMW E91 sports wagon. So check back in in a sec. Let's get on this flight. So I'm currently sitting here in the Denver airport, just waiting to get on my flight to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Layover was pretty short, about 45 minutes, so yeah. Just grabbed some food and getting ready to board my flight. And then the guys at the dealership are supposed to pick me up at the airport and take me to my car, so. So we almost missed the flight. They boarded already, and there was a big line, and I thought that was for this flight, but that was actually a line to Phoenix, Arizona. So I guess there's nobody on this flight. So let's get on board. Landed in Cheyenne. It's a cute little airport, real small. But yeah, just waiting for the guys from the dealership to pick me up, and we'll go check out this car. All right, so I picked up the E91. I didn't film any of the dealership interactions because I didn't want to be that guy that's fucking vlogging and stuff, making people uncomfortable and talking to myself. I kind of hate doing that. So yeah, I just picked up the car. I'm now driving back from Cheyenne, Wyoming. You know, the dealership process was super simple. I had everything already figured out prior to arriving at the dealership. But yeah, so the car is pretty clean overall. The front bumper is kind of fucked up. I'm missing like the tow hook cover, which is whatever. It's a cheap part. I just have to get it. I just have to find it and then have it painted, or paint it myself. So that's missing, and there's some, you know, some pretty big scratches and gouges on the bottom side of the bumper, but it's not a big deal because I plan to get an M Sport bumper at some point, so I'm perfectly okay with having a janky ass bumper, especially since I'm going to be driving this thing in the winter. It'd be cool to have like a backup bumper, and just one that I don't give a fuck about. But yeah, overall impressions of this car is it's fucking sweet. Feels nice, handles nicely, drives super smooth. The car's got 104,000 miles on it. So it's due for a little bit of maintenance, you know. the dealer, they replaced the valve cover, so that's something I don't have to worry about for a while. I'll probably have to worry about the oil filter housing gasket at some point. I'm probably going to replace the water pump before it gets too cold, since I don't think that it's been replaced yet, so I'm kind of on borrowed time. But yeah, other than that, like, suspension seems nice, not hearing any creaks, brakes feel good. The shifter feels fucking wonderful. Like, I mean, it's super tight. Feels a lot different compared to my E36 M3 shifter. It honestly feels very similar to my Cayman shifter, which I'm very surprised. I thought it was going to be like quite a bit looser, but it actually feels very tight. I'm curious if they maybe replace the shifter. The previous owner might have replaced the shifter or something. I don't know. Yeah, overall the car is like super clean. Everything seems to be working except for the driver's side cup holder. The spring seems to be broken and it's not popping out as it should, so it's basically unusable. So I'll have to replace that, and you know, I might get that at the junkyard. Might just buy a brand new probably, but it's an easy fix. Planning to replace the wood grain interior trim on the center dash, center console, and the door cards. I went to the junkyard and I was able to pick up some brushed aluminum trim for $16. So I'm still missing the trim for the 2 rear doors. So I'm hoping I can find that at some point. But I'm probably going to replace that, or either paint or wrap the wood grain stuff in black. I haven't decided what I'm going to go with. But yeah, I got that trim for steel at the junkyard. So as of right now, that's really my only plans. Probably going to put my my double spoke one wheels at the stock E36 M3 wheels. I've got winter tires on those, so I'll probably throw those on. Hopefully they fit. They should fit. The only thing I'm worried about is calipers, and the brake rotors may be slightly bigger, but I highly doubt it, so we'll see. But yeah, so I've been, I guess we can talk about why I bought this car specifically. So I bought this car as a replacement for my 1994 Nissan hardbody pickup. It's a great truck and I really don't want to get rid of it, but you know, it's mostly my beater car, or my beater vehicle, for driving around in the winter, and I use it a lot to, like, you know, haul wood and other building materials for shit around the house. So I'm gonna be kind of bummed that I won't be able to do that. I'll probably end up picking up a tow hitch for this car and maybe a little trailer. So I'm hoping that I can get by without having a truck. But yeah, I was just kind of looking for something with more creature comforts and something more comfortable, because the heater doesn't really work very well in the pickup. So it kind of sucks. It's always like just freezing in the winter. And the AC stopped working shortly after I got it a few years ago. So summers it's like super hot. But yeah, so like this car is pretty basic. It really doesn't have any options. It doesn't have iDrive. All it really has is like heated seats, which is fine. You know, that's less shit to break, less electrical stuff to worry about. I feel like that's a common thing in the vehicles that I buy. But yeah, like I said, so it's pretty bare bones. It's all-wheel drive. It's got the X-Drive in it, which will be nice in the winter, but at the same time, I would have preferred a rear-wheel drive car. I've gotten by many winters with my M3 as well as my Porsche. Driving that in the snow with just winter tires, it's been great. And same with my pickup, it's a rear-wheel drive truck. Winter tires are all I really need. So, I mean, the X-Drive definitely wasn't a necessity, but this was all I could find. And the rear-wheel drive cars were pulling quite the premium. This car ended up running me $15,000 before tax, and I would say compared to the cars being sold on Bring a Trailer, I would say this was a pretty reasonably priced vehicle. So we got a manual transmission, 6-speed. So yeah, I mean, I hate spending that much money on a car with 100,000 miles, but I enjoy BMW cars quite a bit, so I don't mind paying that price for it. And like I said, I think it was a steal compared to what other dealers were marking them up as and what private sales were going for. You know, similar vehicles were running anywhere from, I think the cheapest car that I initially found when I started looking for these in particular was rear-wheel drive, 6-speed California car with 72,000 miles. And I should have pulled the trigger on that, but it went for 21,000, and at that point I wasn't really aware of, the enthusiast markup that these cars were pulling in. So then the next one that sold that I saw was like similar mileage, 72,000 or so, X-Drive, and that one pulled 23,000. And then after that, the next two cars that I saw were pulling 36,000. So it's insane. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting this for, 15,000. Yeah, the reason I was never big into wagons before, but then like just the last year, I was kind of like really falling in love with the idea of getting either an Audi wagon or a BMW wagon. But I really, ended up going with the BMW wagons because I could still find them with manual transmissions. All of the, modern, quote-unquote modern Audi wagons from the last 10 years have been, automatic transmissions with flappy paddle shifters. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they sold some with rear manual transmissions, but they were pretty fucking rare to come by. So, yeah, I mean, it seemed like the BMW was the way to go. Yeah, so I was just kind of like toying with the idea of getting one, and figured it would be a decent replacement for my truck, in terms of just like functionality. And I wanted to get a car that was like more road trip vacation friendly. The Porsche is great on long trips. I have no problems with it, but we also couldn't carry too much with us. So this will be nice. But yeah, it wasn't until I took a vacation to Ireland, and I was seemed like everyone had touring vehicles like station wagons, estate cars, Avants, if you're with the Audis. And so I was just like seeing them everywhere, and I was just falling in love with like the look of them. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, like I need to get one of these. I wasn't planning on it, but then I started seeing these going for sale and seeing what the resale value was like coming with, and I figured, I better snag one now before they get too hard to find. So, finally found one. So, yeah, it's a pretty dope car. I think the first mod I really need to do after I, get the water pump replaced and fix the cup holder and stuff, I need to get an exhaust, because I keep forgetting that this car is still a manual transmission. Like, it drives so smooth compared to my other cars. It just feels like it's an automatic, and you know, I just picked the car up about 20 minutes ago, but you know, I found myself coming to lights a couple of times, and I'm, you know, getting down to 1200 RPM before realizing that I have to put the clutch in. So yeah, I mean, it just drives super smooth, but it's so quiet. I need to get an exhaust because I can't hear where I'm going, and I'm either gonna red line or, you know, kill the car when I come to a stop. So yeah, exhaust is definitely the first mod on my list, and other than that, that's probably going to be my only mod. I don't, you know, there's no reason to spend a bunch of money to get, you know, 20-30 horsepower. It's not really going to be too noticeable. Maybe I'll go with like the 330i intake manifolds, but maybe a tune in the future. But as of right now, I think it's just going to be a very modest daily driver. So anyways, I'm gonna continue driving. Got a 6.5 hour drive ahead of me, so hopefully I'll snag some pics along the way, or if not, I'll grab them when I get home. Show you guys the car. So see ya. So here's the car. This is the first chance I've had to like really look at it and not be at the dealership. So it's pretty clean, especially from far away. There does seem to be some like hail damage, which is sucks, but I guess that's what I get for getting a car sight unseen. But it's really not too bad, and maybe I'll get a new like an M3 hood and have an excuse. But also, this thing to come here about, so the bumper's also kind of fucked up. That side's not so bad. This side, like I said, is missing a toe, hood cover, and it's got a big like paint chunk, as well as some clear coat peeling. So you can kind of see this. And then the clear coat peeling right here. But again, you know, I'm probably gonna get an M Sport bumper, so not a big deal. Other than that, like, the rest of the car is pretty clean. Yeah. So I do like the wheels. I wish they weren't 16s, but they are pretty cool. Cool looking. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty fun, clean. I gotta take the stupid stickers from the dealership off. But yeah, it's pretty sick though. So I'm examining the tires, and I guess they've got winter tires on them, so that works, saving me the hassle from having to put on my double spoke one wheels and trying to figure out if my winter tires will fit. But then now I have to go and get wheels over the winter, and some summer tires. So great, now I have another set of wheels that are going to take up space. Oh well. The caliper looks pretty rusted out, but I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It just looks gross. Yeah, the calipers look pretty bad, to be honest. Probably just from, you know, a Wyoming car. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like I said, it's pretty clean. So, so I've gotten about an hour and a half away from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Currently in Nebraska right now, and I'd stopped to get lunch, and I started driving, and the car started misfiring. So, you know, I was able to pull over to the side, then stop the car, turn it back on, get moving again, but, you know, after about a mile or so, the car would start to misfire again. So I basically just, you know, started, drove a little bit, pulled over to the side, restarted, you know, just kept going until I could make it to back to the city, or a little spot where I had gotten lunch, because there's at least like hotels and stuff there. And I was talking to the dealership. I called them up. I'm like, yo, your car's fucking broken. Like, it's fucking misfiring. And chances are it's probably something as simple as like an ignition coil, you know. So I'll probably have to get the car scanned, but it seems to be running fine right now. Because I noticed before it wouldn't start to misfire until I'd like, you know, kind of accelerate off the shoulder onto the highway and get up to, you know, 60, 70 miles per hour. And it wasn't until I like shifted into fifth gear, you know, above 3,000 RPM that it would start misfiring. And so I started trying to keep it under 3,000 RPMs, and it seems to be running fine. I've been going for about 10 minutes now with no issues, knock on wood. But yeah, so they wanted me to fucking drive, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours back and bring it back to the dealership, and then they can get it looked at on Monday. But I'm like, I fucking have to get home, you know, like, I guess I could have like brought it there, had them, you know, and then booked a flight, got home, let them fix it, and then book a flight back out here, come back, and then do this drive all over again. And you know what? Fuck that. As annoying as it is, it's like I'd rather just fucking make it home. I'm pretty positive it's gonna be a simple fix, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully it's just an ignition coil or two. They said, because I had asked them, like, say I bring it to a BMW dealership, turns out to be a, you know, $50, $60 part. They said that they would reimburse me. So right now, like I said, the car's running fine, so I'm going to try and do that. And if they reimburse me, you know, whatever, fuck them. It's an easy fix. I just want to make it home at this point. Probably being stubborn. But yeah, like, I feel like if I drove back to the dealership, I would just tell them to fuck off, give me my money back, keep the car, and then just go home empty-handed. But I don't want to do that, because I think this car will be reliable. I'm hoping it's going to be a good car. It just, you know, it's a higher mileage car, and it's going to have some issues. But, you know, I have faith. So, yeah, I got about a 4.5 hour drive ahead of me. So we'll see if I make it home. All right, so that was the longest drive ever. I was able to get it home, and just kept it on cruise control, making sure I was under 3,000 RPM. I don't know if it's, you know, going over 3,000 RPMs, you know, causing the misfire or not, but hopefully I can get my hands on a scan tool and figure it out. But yeah, I'll grab some pictures or some video of the outside and stuff later. But yeah, finally glad to be back. That was the longest 8-hour drive ever. So done for tonight. Deuces. So yeah, here's the interior. Got that wood grain trim. Pretty clean. Just got the standard seats. Wish it would have came with the sport seats, but you know, that shit costs money, I guess. Ooh, can't focus. Yeah. So yeah, cup holder. This cup holder don't work. Yep, cup holder doesn't work. Just fine. Back seats. Never had back seats before. Well, never had a 4-door car before. There close the trunk. They give me a little goodie bag. Let's take this. Let's walk around to the front. Yeah, so here's the engine. Pretty clean. Nothing special. Yeah, so that's the car. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I kind of bummed that my car's kind of fucked up, but you know, my scan tool should be in soon, and hopefully I can figure out what's wrong with it. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. Peace.